BS. Aurora Police are getting called out by other law enforcement now for keeping their officer who was drunk and armed on duty passed out at the wheel of his patrol car. BS is what the Larimer County Sheriff is calling that decision. He's concerned about how law enforcement everywhere is hurt by the public's perception of a double standard. Here's Marshall Zellinger.
When an Aurora police officer was found unresponsive in his still-running unmarked car in the median of Mississippi Avenue near the entrance of Buckley Air Force Base back in March, 9 officers responded. Based on the police reports we just received this afternoon, 3 of those 9 smelled alcohol. 1 called it a faint smell, and the person who called it a fleeting smell was the deputy chief who arrived on scene on his way home. That deputy chief is now interim police chief Paul O'Keefe, who wrote in his report why no DUI test was done. The fact that the car was stopped with no motor vehicle accident or driving observations, no other noted smells, no bloodshot watery eyes, physical impairment inconsistent with my experience with DUI, it was decided that no testing would be completed at that time.
I've had clients park their car at a bar, go drink, and then come back to their car, sleep it off instead of drive, and then get a DUI.
We asked DUI attorney Danny Luno for a case he's defended that has similar circumstances. He gave us this arrest warrant from 2014. A guy in this Aurora cul-de-sac, still in the driver's seat, vehicle no longer running, strong odor of unknown alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, bloodshot eyes. He was given a portable breath test and arrested for DUI.
A citizen saw him sleeping in the car running, called police. Police came. By the time they came, the car was off.
Luno challenged that case in court, and his client received a lesser charge.
The police officer sitting in his vehicle, stopped in traffic, and an odor of alcohol is absolutely enough to conduct a DUI investigation.
Hearing a DUI attorney take exception with this situation is one thing. Hearing it from other law enforcement is something new. And earlier today, we saw this Facebook post by Larimer County Sheriff Justin Smith. I highlighted the part that stuck out to me that we've referenced already, that this is kind of BS behavior is what he said. I chatted with him on the phone a little bit ago.
I'm one of the loudest defenders of law enforcement officers probably in this state when I believe they're being unfairly criticized, attacked, etc. However, when I see an agency or some people involved drop the ball on our end, I'm gonna be just as loud, because that's what we should do. I'm not doing what the citizens elected me to do if I whistle past the graveyard and pretend there's not an issue here.
So how do we know that the officer was drunk if there was no DUI test done on the scene? It was part of the internal affairs investigation. He turned over his medical records that showed what 9 Wants to Know has learned might be 5 times the legal limit for being able to drive.
Yes, just astonishingly drunk. I guess the question that I'm wrestling with is, APD comes out and says, well, he volunteered this information because we didn't take it from him, so you got to give him some credit for that.
They are saying that, and I've learned that this statute, it's a one-year statute of limitations. They could still charge with DUI, but what he turned over as part of the internal affairs investigation cannot be used in court because he couldn't have pleaded the 5th when it came to the internal affairs. We do know that Arapahoe County DA George Brockler has a team that wants to meet with Aurora Police to see what they could figure out. Maybe there would be charges perhaps still to come.
Thank you, Marshall. The Aurora Police motto is duty, honor, integrity. Which of those 3 was Aurora Police Officer Nate Meyer displaying when he was blacked out drunk behind the wheel of his patrol car with his handgun on his hip? And was it the duty, the honor, or the integrity when officer after officer smelled alcohol but did not test his blood alcohol level? And is it duty, honor, or integrity being displayed by Aurora police leaders who are keeping this guy on the force? That decision will cause some citizens to be wary of any Aurora police officer, even the vast majority of APD officers who do act with duty, honor, and integrity. The final insult to your intelligence here is Aurora Police saying that Officer Meyer has agreed that if he does it again, he will be fired. Let that sink in. If you're an Aurora police officer, you can keep your job if you're blackout drunk on duty behind the wheel of your patrol car carrying a gun. You just can't do it twice.
Subscribe to the Next YouTube channel for the best of Next and some other stuff.